things are heating up as we draw closer to WrestleMania 40, a weekend where we are going to see two of the biggest WrestleMania main events that we've ever seen. Night one will feature The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. A tag match that has huge implications on the main event of night two, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. As you know, if Rock and Roman win, Bloodline rules, anything goes, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. But if Cody and Seth win, no Bloodline. They are banned from ringside, and Cody gets the match that he's always wanted. Fair and square, one-on-one with Roman Reigns. The hype for the show has been outstanding. I haven't been this excited for a WrestleMania since 30. Might have been a little bit longer than that. Because I used to get really excited for WrestleMania when I was younger. But this is feeling like old school WrestleMania. The WWE has been on a roll. Fans are excited. They're selling out arena after arena after arena. The engagement is up for not just us content creators, but across the board. Wrestling has been on a roll. The ecosystem has benefited from WWE being, dare I say, in its prime. Ugh. But with that comes its downsides. Because, as you know, whenever you get a company that's doing so well, there's always going to be that other side of the coin. In this case, people are finding out what it was like to be in the Attitude Era, where things were not so PG, where things weren't coddling. They weren't here to hold your hand and say, we're here to have a good match. No, there were sharks back then that wanted that top spot, and they were willing to step on anybody and everybody to get there. And we're getting a sense of that with what's happening with this feud between Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth. This past Friday on Smackdown, where they had their face-to-face confrontation since their Las Vegas kickoff WrestleMania event, Rock and Roman had some choice words for Cody and Seth. And these words weren't nice. Matter of fact, let's just say they cut a little deep. The Rock told, just to paraphrase, The Rock told Cody that the reason why his sister and his brother had a 20-year gap between him is because he was a mistake. He was not planned. His daddy was probably bored and was doing something with his mama, and then you popped out. You was a mistake. You wasn't meant to be born. Oof. That cut deep. As a result, The Rock got slapped. Cody got his back. Roman Reigns called Seth Rollins a crossdresser. Yeah. He went there. He called him a crossdresser. What an asshole. You can tell I'm being sarcastic about that one. But the reason why I bring this up is because these two comments are causing a lot of stir online. More so the crossdresser line than the mistake line. That being said, before I even get into what was said, how people were feeling about it, let me just say this. I love what's going on. I miss these days. I miss when wrestling made people talk and made them feel a certain way. Back in the Attitude Era, people were always talking. You couldn't shut up about wrestling because it was everywhere. 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 Wherever you went, they was talking about DX, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kane, The Undertaker, The Rock, Mankind. My goodness, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian. Oh God, I'd be here all day. Too cool, Rikishi. The list just goes on. That's not even getting into the divas. You know, Trish Stratus, Lita, freaking Victoria, Sable. I think Sunny was gone by then. No, Sunny was around, I think, for a little bit. But regardless, Terry Runnels. There was a lot of conversation. Some of it was not good. Some people were offended. They were mad at what they saw. Others loved what was happening. I love that we've gotten back to a point where there's buzz. And it could have come from AEW. It could have come from TNA. As long as there's buzz in wrestling, I feel like I feel like things are just going to get better and better. And you see it with WWE selling out arena after arena after arena. Social media views, social media engagement is up at an all-time high, record-setting. Man, I just feel like with the way things are with wrestling, this is how it should be. We wouldn't be here if we had kept it the kind of PG show that it was when Vince McMahon was running it, where they weren't allowed to get as serious and how do I put this? Personal. How about that? As we are getting now with Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth. You had to do things that weren't going to piss off sponsors. You had to appeal to the TV networks. You had to appease the kids, be good for family environments. And it was just so constraining. So constraining. Now that he's gone, these wrestlers, male, female, old, young, legend, not so much, vet, newbie, novice, they're able to try out different things, fall on their ass, or succeed. It is now sink or swim again. And I love it. I love this. I love seeing these wrestlers go out there, get their asses kicked, both figuratively and literally. Like Maxine getting booed. Good. Light a fire under her ass. Make her do better. But also, you're loving what they're doing with The Rock. It's so good having The Rock back. He has made things so interesting. I did see the 11-minute promo he did before Smackdown last night where he wore the cowboy hat. And he had that awesome line. And I forgot what he said beforehand, but he told the TV network on Fox, who was blacking out his promo, and Phoenix, where he told Phoenix, Arizona, that they are the number one, well, it was Glendale, but he told Glendale that Phoenix, Arizona is the number one city for crack and cocaine use, and told them all to shut up and go home and smoke crack. They was blacking out his segment because there was a Die Rocky Die sign in the crowd. A Die Rocky Die sign was having them black out the entire feed. Not blur, but black it out. It was ridiculous. But I love that, by the way. And sometimes you need to do that. You have to push the limits to see what's okay and what's not. How do you know where the line is if you don't push the limits? But anyways, The Rock basically told the TV networks, Cody and Seth, off is the direction that you can fuck. What an awesome line. And he was able to say it because it wasn't on TV, it was on his social media. That kind of freedom is what I miss. And only the greats can make use of that. And I hope he keeps doing that, by the way. But I just feel like with that comes this idea that you could step over some lines. And sometimes you gotta do it. How do you know where the line is if you don't cross it? And apparently the line was crossed. The line was crossed over the last 24 hours. People were mad, big mad. So getting into the two lines that got people upset, the one being The Rock calling Cody a mistake. The widow of John Huber, Amanda Huber, Miss Huber, everyone loves Miss Huber, took to Twitter, and we are going to show her tweet because why not? I want to show how things got a little personal over this segment. And we know Amanda loves Cody because Cody is family. When Luke Harper passed away, Cody was one of the people to look after her son, and of course her, but mostly -1. So they're personal. They have a personal relationship. So you can imagine when The Rock called Cody a mistake, she took it a little personal, which you see in this tweet. Talking about an age gap when your own daughters are almost 20 years apart is a weird choice. Miss Amanda, god damn, look, like, I have a problem with this, because it's like, it's not even the fact that, this is scripted, right? You know The Rock, he doesn't really think Cody is a mistake. That's not even what's going on here. Why did Ava catch a straight? Simone Johnson works with WWE, and this tweet feels like she's implying that, well, if you're calling Cody a mistake, I guess that makes Simone Johnson a mistake. I'm like, whoa, ma'am. Let's calm down a little bit. Like, let's not go that far. And speaking of Miss Ava Johnson, she did respond. What a mark. What a mark. Like, yeah, let's... I get it. I get it. Like, Dusty Rhodes is held in high regard, right? He passed away. And so to imply that he was a scumbag and he had Cody when he didn't want to have him and treated him as such, and Cody was a mistake. You know, I can see people taking that a little too hard. Honestly, the more I think about it, I go, okay, yeah. But still, like, and we'll talk more about this after I get into the next one. The whole point was to insult him. The whole point was to make it personal. The whole point was to get under Cody's skin. What better way to do that than by mocking his family heritage? You were a mistake. Like, if I'm going after someone, if I'm going for your jugular, what would I say? Your daddy doesn't matter. That's what Roman said at the press conference. Your daddy don't mean shit. And you were a mistake. Those are fighting words. What do you want him to say? You're not a good wrestler, Cody. I'm a better wrestler than you. Oh, Cody, that suit looks so goddamn cheap. I wear bigger suits and much more priced suits than you. Like, nah, bruh. Cody, you a mistake. Your dad don't mean shit. Your family don't mean shit. What you gonna do about it, Cody? So what, we can't be heels anymore? He can't say certain things because it's too personal? So how can he be a heel then? And what did he get as a result of that? He got slapped. It's not like nothing happened to The Rock. You talk about my family, you call me a mistake? Bitch. And it was a great moment. Nah, screw that. I hope The Rock keeps talking shit about his daddy and him being a mistake. Matter of fact, keep talking shit about Farrah too. Call Farrah a shithead. You don't call that dog Farrah, call him shithead. Cody Rhodes, Brandy, and shithead. Now, he's not going to go after Brandy. Now, he knows better. He won't go after Brandy. Who the fuck told you this was open mic night, bitch? Brandy would come after him. He should, though. I would love to see Brandy. Oh, no, she can't come on TV yet because that would make Cody a heel. Not yet. It'll happen one day. Okay. Believe it or not, only a fewer people were upset about the mistake line. A majority were furious over Roman Reigns calling Seth Rollins a crossdresser because they perceived it as a homophobic slur. Yeah, and look, I'm not gonna tell people how to feel. If you want to be offended by it, that's fine. I just have to wonder, like, look, I'll show you a couple of comments too, like this one, for example. Because, like, right there, him pausing knowing he screwed up is crazy, bruh. And she's like, or he, no, that's a she, using that term as an insult. It's an insult in 2024. Like, why would you say that? Also, the whole going after the way Seth dresses is equating it to masculinity is getting old real quick. Like, I don't think it was that serious, y'all. Like, how I perceive, I'm looking for the comics, by the way. I just wanted to sift through all the craziness. How I perceived the comment was, all right, you're a cross-dresser because you dress like a woman. You get your outfits from your wife's closet, which means you're not a man. And you don't fight like a man. Now, that's how I perceived it, right? Here's another one. I wanted to pull up the ones. This is from Wrestling Days. Roman Reigns' cross-dresser line was unnecessary. I think this is the danger of not having a script, though. You're going to have moments where people say things that they will likely regret the second that they said them. I don't think Roman gives a damn. Here we go. This is another one. Here's another one. Roman Reigns had no business calling Seth Rollins a crossdresser, but he's a heel. if you're saying stuff that would pop the Donald Trump side of Twitter, oh my God. The Donald Trump side of Twitter, then you're doing something wrong. Okay, so, again, you're a cross-dresser. You dress like a woman, which means you're not a man. It was a tactic to emasculate him. Once again, he's insulting Seth Rollins based off of what he's wearing. That's not saying that if you dress like a woman, something's wrong with you. He's not going after people who are gay or who live that type of lifestyle. That's not what it was for. It was specifically the idea that Seth looks ridiculous in his outfit and he doesn't come across intimidating and I can whoop your ass. Now, Roman can say this to Seth and it not be that bad because Seth has beaten Roman more times than Roman has beaten Seth. Matter of fact, I think when it comes to championship defenses, Roman has never beaten Seth. Ever. That's a big deal. So, Roman can say, "Where'd you get those shoes from? Your wife's closet?" Like, I just have to wonder, like, where can we really say that it's gone too far? Because if cross-dresser, if that's going a step too far, my goodness, y'all, don't even think about watching the Attitude Era. Oh my goodness. Where do I even start? Shawn Michaels. I can stop right there. Shawn Michaels, the shit he did back in the 1990s, 1997, 1998, especially 1997. Oh my God. The things that he did, if he did them now, he would have gotten WWE kicked off the air. I should know because he almost got WWF kicked off the air in 1997. That man was going around taking toys. There was a segment, I forgot what match it was, where he grabbed a British Bulldog toy, took it, opened his pants up, and dropped it in his crotch area, live on television. In front of a fan one time, he was making sexual gestures, emulating a sexual act. I'm trying to watch my words here. Don't want to get age restricted. It's a very famous meme. You know what I'm talking about. It's related to his catchphrase, "Suck it." You know what I mean? That meme, you know what I'm talking about. That meme that you've seen many times before on Twitter. That if we showed it now, this would get this video age restricted. He was humping the ground. He was walking around in these short shorts with his private parts literally imprinted on them. The things he was saying. Oh my goodness. You do that nowadays, you get the show kicked off. Shane McMahon was having a feud with Vince McMahon. Don't like mentioning his name, but you know what? It applies here. Vince McMahon literally told Shane to his face, "I will never forgive your mother for giving birth to you." Oh. See, that's much worse than calling Cody a mistake. That's much worse. Chris Jericho. Oh, he was coming for Stephanie every day of the week. A filthy, dirty, disgusting, brutal, skanky, bottom-feeding trash bag. I remember that segment with The Rock and Chris Jericho were roasting Rhino and Stephanie. Chris Jericho says, "You got a man's beast and a hose beast." You got The Rock saying, "The silver spoon, motherfucker." You know what I mean? Like, there were much worse insults. Much worse insults. John Cena told Eddie Guerrero, "You should be waxing my car and mowing my lawn." You're like, what did... Like, come on, man. You say this shit because it's offensive. You want to piss people off. And I'm so glad. And you know what? Not even gonna praise Rock and Roman. I'm glad that Cody and Seth are willing to go there too. Seth told The Rock, "Well, Mr. Midlife Crisis, sir, I'm proud of you." Okay, Seth has gotten really good on the microphone as of lately, but I'm happy that these men are willing to go there because it has undisputedly made WrestleMania 40 that much better. Why? Because it feels real. We know wrestling is scripted. We know that this is planned beforehand. Hell, this whole thing about cross-dressers and The Rock calling him a mistake, all 4 of them probably went backstage and talked before they went out there and said this. Just so we're clear. But the fact that it feels real, the fact that you believe what's happening, you can believe The Rock is mad at Cody for taking the main event away from him. You can believe that. You can believe that Seth doesn't like The Rock. You can believe that Roman is a little jealous of The Rock. You can believe all of this stuff. And that's what matters. That's what matters. It's the fact that you believe. It's that you're invested. And that's why they're selling out. But would you believe in any of this shit if you wasn't angry? If you wasn't getting offended? If they were pulling their punches? Nah, man. I'm so sick and tired of being PC about things. No, don't pull your punches. Go for the jugular. And explain to me, and I might end it on this note. We'll see how I feel. When I read these comments of people getting offended, and there's more. By the way, it's not everybody. There are people on social media actually defending this, which I appreciate. Thank you so much. But there's too many people who hate it. When I read those comments who are offended, it makes me think, have any of you ever been in a fight? You couldn't have been. There's no way anybody that's offended by this has ever been in a fight. Because if you're in a fight, the objective is to hurt the person that you're in a fight as much as possible. Mentally, emotionally, physically. That's why when you're punching him and kicking him, you're calling him a little bitch. You're trying to, say certain words that are going to hurt his feelings or her feelings if you're a woman fighting another woman. Or if you're a man going after a woman, screw you. That's some punk ass shit. And by the way, women shouldn't be putting their hands on men either. You know what I'm trying to say. If you're in a fight, the whole idea is to hurt the other person. You don't just say, wow, oh my God, I'm faster than you. I'm so much better at punching. No. You go, you look like an ugly piece of shit. You look like the kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you want to go for the jugular. That's what we need. We're missing that from wrestling. That is why professional wrestling was as popular back in the Attitude Era. They were there to go to the top, and they were stepping on anybody and everybody they could, which made TV that much more better. Now, they had to because they were at war with WCW. They had to be offensive. They had to go to those lengths. But that doesn't mean that you still can't go to those lengths now. You probably can't do it as much. You probably shouldn't do it as much. But why can't we get personal? I think part of the reason why some of these storylines in WWE are kind of dry is because we're not getting personal with it. It doesn't feel personal. It just feels like we're just all here to have a good time and wrestle. And that's boring. From a storyline standpoint, from a character standpoint, I don't give a shit to see this guy come and have a professional wrestling match and have good sportsmanship. Nah, bitch. Talk shit about his mama. Talk shit about his dog. Make it personal. So we can get invested. And we can pay money to see these assholes see the heels get their asses kicked and see the baby faces get their come-ups. Or sometimes, just saying, check this out. Sometimes people will pay more money to see the heels lose than to see the baby faces win. Something to think about. Something to consider when Cody Rhodes becomes champion. And again, I'm not saying that it's going to change anything. I'm pretty sure WWE's going to have a grace period with Cody. They're still going to sell out arenas. But one has to wonder, would they be as high as they are now if Roman Reigns still wasn't champion? We need insults in wrestling. I feel like this idea of it being too offensive, it's not like, again, I go back to the die Rocky die sign. Like back in the day, die, the word die. I think the word die was used in a Disney film one time. Okay, you're dead, die. But it's to a point where, practices are saying you can't even have the word die on TV. Like, come on, man. But to me, like I keep saying, you don't know where the line is until you cross it. And the people who are willing to go that far are the ones that get over. Not the ones who play by the rules. Unfortunately, we live in a society where the more you push the limit, the more you test the waters, the more people appreciate you. I'm sorry, I just kind of feel like, I don't want to say wrestling is soft now. I don't want to say the wrestling fans are soft. I do think there are people who watch wrestling who appreciate the gravity, the heaviness when it gets real like this. But I also think there are way too many people who are just so stuck up about how life should be done, how we have to do clean fun, and we have to live life this way because it works for me. No, like, do what people want to see. Relate this to the masses. If you gotta insult someone's mama, if you gotta say that they're a piece of shit, if you gotta say that they're a mistake, if you want to say that they're a cross-dresser, which, by the way, tame. Both of these lines are tame, by the way, compared to what I used to hear. But whatever. Some people were offended by it, so it's not for me to decide. Still, go there. You have to go there. Otherwise, people are not going to be invested. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you so much for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click the bell to get all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and Venmo. Give me your thoughts. Did you think it was offensive? Did you think people went a little too far with it? Took it a little bit too much to heart? Just curious to know how you guys feel. But thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. The place it is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Oh, when you're